Hey everybody, it's Michael Walters with Keller Williams. I grew up in Sandy. I still live there, and I've been helping people with their real estate needs in Sandy for years. And today I want to have a real conversation with you. Not a sales pitch and no fluff, but a genuine data-backed conversation about what it actually takes to sell your home in this market and walk away with the most money possible. Because here's the truth. The market has shifted. And a lot of sellers are sitting on the market longer than they expected, getting fewer showings than they hoped for, and ultimately leaving money on the table. Not because their home is bad, but because they didn't have the right strategy. So I'm going to break this down into 4 pillars today. We're going to talk about absorption rates and what they mean for your specific zip code. We're going to talk about marketing, condition, and price. And by the time we're done, you're going to have a completely clear picture of what a winning seller strategy looks like right now. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is something called absorption rate. And I promise this is not going to be boring because this number directly impacts your strategy. The absorption rate tells us how many months it would take to sell all the homes currently on the market at the current pace of sales. Think of it like this. If there are 100 homes for sale and 25 sell each month, you've got a 4-month supply. That's actually right around where the broader 5-county Wasatch Front is sitting right now, about 4.0 to 4.2 months of supply. But here's what's interesting, and this is something a lot of sellers don't realize. You could be in the same city, but a completely different zip code, and the supply and demand picture could look completely different. Different price points, different school boundaries, different walkability scores. All of these things create micro markets within a larger market. Here in Sandy specifically, we're sitting on about 3 months of supply for single family homes, which is actually tighter than the regional average. And that's genuinely good news for sellers. But, and this is a big but, tighter supply doesn't mean you can just throw a sign in the yard and wait. It means the opportunity is there, but you have to be positioned to take advantage of it. When supply is elevated, buyers have choices. And when buyers have choices, your home has to stand out. Not just to be good, it has to be the obvious best option at this price point. Let's talk about how you would do that. The second pillar is marketing. And I'll be honest with you, this is one area where there is a massive difference between what an average agent does and what great agents do. Let me ask you something. If your home is listed right now, do you know how many people saw it online this week? Do you know how many people saved it as a favorite? Do you know how many direct inquiries your agent received from buyers? If you don't know the answers to these questions, that's a problem. Here's what you should expect from your agent every single week. Not once a month, not if something happens, but every single week. Online visibility. How many views did your home get on Zillow, Realtor.com, and the MLS? Is that number going up or is it going down? A strong listing in the first 2 weeks should have thousands of views. Second is engagement. How many people have saved or favorited your listing? This tells you if people are interested but not acting, which is usually a price signal. Open house activity. Is your agent holding open houses? Not just one regularly, but open houses every other week. They keep momentum going and expose your home to buyers who might not have scheduled a private showing. Direct inquiries. How many buyers or buyer agents have reached out asking questions? A home that's generating inquiries is a home that's being seen. A home with no inquiries, something's wrong. Beyond the weekly recaps, great marketing also means your home has professional photography, not iPhone photos. A compelling description that tells a story, targeted social media exposure, and ideally video or a 3D walkthrough. Buyers today make decisions based on what they see online before they ever set foot in your home. Your digital first impressions is everything. If your agent isn't providing you with this level of transparency and accountability, it's worth having a conversation about. Because in this market, marketing isn't optional. It's the difference between sitting and selling. Pillar 3 is condition. And this one is personal, so I want you to hear me when I say this with kindness. Buyers are brutal. They walk into a home and make an emotional decision within the first 30 seconds. It's true. And that decision starts before they even walk through the front door. So let's start at the curb. When a buyer pulls up to your home, what do they see? Is the lawn trimmed and edged? Are the flower beds clean? Is there fresh paint? Does the front door look inviting? Curb appeal is not a bonus. It sets the buyer's expectation for everything they're about to see inside. If the outside looks tired, they walk in on guard. Now, let's go inside. And a few things that I see derail showings over and over again. First is clutter. Less is always more. Buyers need to be able to imagine their life in your home, and they can't do that when your stuff is everywhere. If you haven't used it in a year, box it up and get it out. Personal photos. This one surprises people, but personal photos, family portraits, religious images, graduation pictures, they actually make it harder for buyers to connect emotionally with your home. You want them to see themselves living there, not feeling like a guest in your space. Take them down. Religious and political decor, same principle. You want your home to feel neutral, welcoming, and universally appealing. Not because there's anything wrong with your beliefs, but because this is a business transaction and you want to appeal to the widest possible pool of buyers. Paint. Is your color palette current? Warm whites, grays, soft stage, these are selling right now. Dated colors can make a home feel old even if everything else is fine. A couple of $100 in paint can add thousands in perceived value. Flooring. Carpet should be clean, stretched, and free of any ripples or worn spots. Hard surfaces should be scratch-free and clean. And if your flooring has obvious damage, get it fixed before you list. Buyers will use it as a negotiating point. Bottom line on condition, you're not just selling a house. You're selling a lifestyle and a feeling. The homes that sell fast and for the most money are the ones where buyers walk in and immediately think, I could live here right now. All right, we're at pillar number 4, and this is the big one. It's price. And I want to give you a framework that I use with every single one of my sellers. And I want you to really hear this because it might be the most counterintuitive thing that you've heard about real estate. In this market, to sell timely and net the most money, you need to be in the top 20% of condition and the bottom 20% in price. Let me see that again. The top 20% in condition and the bottom 20% in price. That combination is your winning formula right now. Now I know what you're thinking. Michael, if I price low, I'm leaving money on the table. And I hear you. But here's what the data actually shows. When you price your home strategically, even aggressively, the market responds. You create urgency, you create competition, and in many cases, that competition drives the final sell price right back up to or above where you would have listed anyways. You cannot price a home too low if the market is healthy because buyers will bid it up. On the flip side, here's what happens when you price it too high. In the first 2 weeks, a well-marketed, well-priced home should generate at least 10 showings. And for every 10 showings, you should see roughly 1 offer. Those are the benchmarks. If you're not hitting those numbers in the first 14 days, the market is telling you something. It's telling you that at this price, buyers don't feel like they are getting enough value. And the conversation you need to have with your agent is, are we 3% high, 5% high, sometimes more? And here's the danger of ignoring that signal. Once your home has been on the market for 5 weeks or more, buyers start to wonder what's wrong with it. They don't know your pricing strategy. They just see days on market and they get skeptical. Your home gets stigmatized, and now you're negotiating from a position of weakness instead of strength. Strategic pricing from day one protects you from that, and it keeps you in control. So let's bring it all together. If you're thinking about selling your home in Sandy or anywhere in the Wasatch Front right now, here's your checklist. Understand your specific micro market, not just the city, but the zip code and the price range. Make sure your agent is marketing your home aggressively and reporting results to you every week. Get your home in the top 20% condition before you list. Curb appeal, declutter, neutralize, fix the flooring. And price. Price it to create urgency and competition, not to anchor to what you wish it was worth. If you do all four of these things, you are going to sell faster and net more money than the average seller in this market. That's not a guess. That's what the data shows. I'm Michael Walters. I grew up in Sandy. I still live here, and I'm helping people with their real estate needs in Sandy every single day. If you have any questions, or if you want a free consultation, or if you just want to talk about what your home might be worth in today's market, give me a call or shoot me a text. I would love to sit down with you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, follow, and share this with anybody you know who's thinking about making a move. And I'll see you in the next one.